penalty in football meant to prevent dangerous hits to the head or neck area of a defense's opponent. The rule aims to protect players from potential catastrophic injuries. It's a rule that underscores the NCAA's commitment to player safety, and it's rules that bring both excitement and controversy to the game. Now let's take a look and try to understand what referees consider when making a targeting call. Referees examine various factors such as the defender's contact, the force of the hit, and whether the hit was delivered with the crown of the helmet. They also consider whether the opponent was in a defenseless position. Specifically, Section 9, Article 4 in the NCAA handbook states that no player shall target and make forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent with the helmet, forearm, hand, fist, elbow, or shoulder. This foul requires that there are at least one indicator for targeting. You can pause the video if you want to take a look at the more intricacies of targeting, what they consider targeting, the actions that involved in calling a targeting call. But one thing I definitely want to highlight in this section is that targeting means that a player takes aim at an opponent for purpose of attacking with forcible contact that goes beyond making a legal tackle or a legal block or playing the ball. So not only are these calls being made based off the letter of the law, but they're also based on the intentions that referees are interpreting from these players. The trouble with calling a targeting call often lies in the gray area where the rules can be subjective. When is a hit a legitimate tackle, and when does it cross the targeting territory? This leads to a lot of "was that really targeting" moments that have fans and players alike scratching their heads. And now that we understand the rules' complexities, it's time to dig into some of those specific plays from the 2023 seasons that left us all debating. So number 5 on our list involves Shiloh Sanders during the Colorado Buffaloes versus UCLA game this past Saturday. So if you look at this initial play here, the quarterback drops back, looks to his left, looks to his right, passes the ball to his tight end, and here comes Shiloh. Pretty good hit, right? And the referee immediately throws his flag. From the real-time reaction to this hit, I understand the referee calling this targeting call because it looks a little more violent than normal hits that you will see now in 2023 for college football. But let's take a closer look. The first question I want to ask is this tight end a defenseless receiver? So let's take a look. From this initial angle, you can clearly see that he has possession of the ball. But that does not make him not a defensive receiver because he's not a football move at this moment. So I want to highlight this part. After catching the football, he then makes a football move by taking 2 steps and then turning to run upfield. So this does not make him a defensive receiver because his head's turned around and he can see the defender coming. Now here's the contact. As you can see in this clip, he's clearly aiming for the football because he not only ducks lower than the opponent's neck and head area, he aims directly for the football. Now one might say that, hey, he used his shoulder to make a hit, but as long as the hit's not in the neck or head area where he's using the crown of his head, the hit's legal by the book. Number 4 on our list involves Preston, not defensive player, jump cut. At this moment, he's airborne, and he is not defenseless because he was trying to make a move to continue upfield. At this moment, you can see that Preston makes a pretty form tackle that does not aim for the neck or head area. He doesn't use his crown of his head as a mechanism for tackling. He wraps up in this moment as well. So how is this targeting? He doesn't launch it. He doesn't gather up momentum. He just stops his momentum and delivers a hit. So number 3 on our list involves Johnny Newton during the Illinois versus Wisconsin game. So let's look at this clip here. We have Wisconsin's quarterback driving back in the pocket, looking downfield, trying to make a play. We have Johnny Newton beelining directly towards him after he's gotten by Wisconsin's O-lineman, getting ready to make a play, possibly trying to cause a fumble, definitely trying to get a sack, and try to do what's best for his team. So let's see what type of hit this actually was and what actually occurred in this particular tackle that caused him to get a targeting call. By the letter of the law, the Wisconsin quarterback would not be considered a defenseless player because he is not in the act or just after throwing a pass. He's getting ready, still surveying the field. So he's not a defensive player at this moment in time, even though he can't see Johnny coming. So now let's look at Johnny for a second. His arms are outstretched. He's not leading with his helmet. He's trying to make a form tackle to not only stop the quarterback from throwing a pass, but also trying to knock the ball out of his hand in the same motion. So now freezing in here, you can clearly see that Johnny is aiming for his chest area. Shoulder is in his chest, and then incidentally his helmet hits the lower part of his chin / part of his neck area. His intent in this moment, based on his movements prior to getting to the quarterback, is to hit him square in his chest area, but the weird angle that the quarterback hit at the moment in which he was hit caused him to slightly hit his neck area. So based on intent, based on placement of where Johnny tried to hit him in this moment, I would say that this is not targeting and this is a bad call. And if you did want to call anything on this play, you probably would say roughing the passer, if anything. Now, second on our list involves Dpri from the Liberty versus Western Kentucky. Throws the ball to the wide receiver on the left side of the field, catches the ball, he turns, and he begins to make his football move. Now here you have Dpri bracing for the tackle. He's in prime position to make this tackle on the wide receiver. And at the same moment, the wide receiver is trying to make a move to either run him over or to brace for a tackle, right? So as you can see, Dpri got as low as possible, but also in that same moment, the wide receiver also got low, trying to prepare himself for this hit. So this already defines the wide receiver as not being a defenseless player. Now at the moment of contact, you can clearly see that Dupri's head as well as shoulders make contact with the wide receiver's chest area, and he managed to get lower than the wide receiver at that moment and is making a form tackle. Even though he does miss this tackle, correct call for targeting. It should have just been play on, and he should have been able to stay in the game. In the wake of these controversial targeting calls, the debate rages on about the rules application and the need for change. Some argue for clear definitions and more technology-assisted reviews, while others believe that the rules should prioritize player safety, even if there's rules and occasional controversy. These discussions may shape the future of targeting in college football. And there you have it, our journey through the intriguing world of targeting in college football. There may be some of the most disputed calls in the game, but also underscore the NCAA's commitment to player safety. As the debate continues and the rules evolve, we'll be here to bring you the latest on the thrilling and often perplexing world of college football. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more compelling stories from the realm of sports. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of college football's worst targeting calls of 2023. Thank you.